Good morning and welcome to the Morning Outlook Report. I'm Rachel Jones, live from Kalkine TV Sydney studios. Now, the Australian share market is likely to begin the week on a strong note. According to the latest by futures, the ASX 200 is expected to open 54 points higher or 0.8% higher this morning. Now, Friday the 13th wasn't so unlucky for the market. At the closing bell, the Dow Jones gained 1.5%. The S&P 500 added 2.4% and the Nasdaq jumped 3.8%. All the sectors finished in the green, with the best performing sector being the tech sector that was up almost 7%. The sector with the fewest gains was consumer staples, that was up 0.8%. Now, the best performing stock on Friday was Block. Their shares closed almost 15% higher at $114.88. The worst performing stock was IGO. Their shares closed 3.5% lower at $10.54. Now, looking to some company news from this morning now, and container company Brambles released a response this morning to media speculation relating to a potential bid by CVC Capital Partners. Now, Brambles has confirmed that it has had a preliminary agreement, an engagement, with CVC in regard to an unsolicited proposal to acquire all of the shares in Brambles. Brambles notes that this engagement is preliminary and incomplete, and there's been no formal proposal received from CVC. Brambles also notes that there's no certainty that this engagement will lead to a binding proposal being received from CVC. Moving on, Cooper Energy has revised their financial year 2022 guidance upwards, and that's as a result of higher gas prices. EBITDA's guidance is now between $57 million and $68 million. That's versus the prior guidance of between $53 million and $63 million. Its third quarter report released last month, when the company noted the strong performance of the business relative to guidance and advised the guidance would be reviewed following a return to stable operations at their Orbost gas processing plant. And real estate business, the Goodman Group, reports $13.4 billion of development work in progress across 89 projects, with $68.7 billion total assets under management. Now, the company confirmed guidance for financial year 2022 operating earnings per share growth of 23%, with full-year dividends of 30 cents a share. Well, it's time for a short break now, but stay tuned for more news set to affect your trading day.
Crypto talk by Kalkine. The crypto market has been red hot given the Bitcoin rally since the past year. And now the most famous cryptocurrency has got competitors, Dogecoin and Ethereum. If the crypto market excites you, tune in with me, Sage, to know the latest developments about the existing digital currencies and the new ones that are joining the race. I'll help you understand the opportunities and the risks the crypto market has in store for you. For all the digital currency related developments, continue watching Crypto Talk by Kalkine.
And welcome back to the Morning Outlook Report. Over in the US now, and on Wall Street, the Dow Jones rose 1.5%. The S&P 500 surged 2.4% and the Nasdaq ended 3.8% higher. Now, despite Friday's gains, the S&P 500 and the Nasdaq posted their sixth consecutive weekly loss, and the Dow notched its seventh consecutive weekly dip. Over in Europe, the Stoxx 50 rose 2.5%, the FTSE went up 2.6%, and the CAC climbed 2.5%, with the DAX ending 2.1% higher. Emerging market stocks rose 1.83%. MSCI's broadest index of Asia-Pacific shares outside of Japan, 2.01%, from Thursday's 22-month closing low. Japan's Nikkei rose 2.64%. Now, oil prices rose 4% as US gasoline prices jumped to a record high, and China looked ready to ease their pandemic restrictions. Brent futures rose $4.10 to settle at $111.55 a barrel. WTI crude rose $4.36 to $110.49 a barrel. Gold fell more than 1% on Friday and is set for its fourth straight weekly decline as the dollar's strength sapped appetite for the bullion. Spot gold fell 0.8% to $1,807 an ounce. Now, gold futures declined 0.59% to $1,807 an ounce. Cryptocurrency steadied on Friday, with Bitcoin recovering from a 16-month low after a very volatile week dominated by the collapse in value of Terra USD. That's known as a stable coin. Now, Bitcoin rose 3.5% to $29,884. That's rebounding from a December low of back in 2020, where it hit $25,400. That was on Thursday. Now, Bitcoin remains far below week earlier levels of around $40,000 and is on track for a record 7th consecutive weekly loss. Well, that's all for our Morning Outlook report here on Kalkine TV. Have a great day trading and stay tuned for more market updates and economic news live throughout the day. This is Rachel signing off for now.